if I saw another day, only to scream into the night. Nothing ever tries to change, even if I want to realize. 'Cause I've been sitting here, same old ways, thinking up about the same mistake. Darling, when you go away, it won't be as simple for you.
Yo, guys, it's Old Man G here, back again for the Manchester United versus Villa match reaction. A few things to talk about, but before we get into it, if you're new to the channel, remember to like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio. Follow us on Twitter, United, and smash the notification button for the latest Manchester United news and more, especially because of our successful. So first, I'm going to start with the positive for today, actually, before I even get into the game, is shout out to everyone who tuned in for the Nigeria versus Sudan watch along. It was really good. We had a lot of good views, and it really made me want to do more watch alongs, specifically more non-Manchester United watch alongs. I was contemplating doing a watch along for this game, but I thought, you know what, I'm a bit tired, and I know United are possibly going to disappoint me, so it is what it is. And that was kind of my my mentality sort of going forward. And to be honest, we started well. I think the game kind of somewhat overlapped, which I thought was pretty cool. We looked like we were in control of the game. From what I could see, we looked like we were very much in control of the game. By the way, guys, before I get into it, I am going to post a link. So if anyone wants to come on and chat and get some, get some match stress off, I posted the StreamYard link in the description. If you'd like to come on and have your thoughts, then please click the StreamYard link in the chat, and I'll obviously post it on Twitter as well. Let me do that now, guys, actually. So, yeah, get that in. Okay, fine. Okay, cool. Sorry. Admin and stuff all aside. Oh, okay. Now's in. Now I'll bring you in a second. I see you. I will bring you in. I'm just going to do a brief sort of summary of what I've seen as well as running through the comments, but I will bring you in now. Thanks to your support, buddy. A few comments here. Barcelona coming back to haunt Manchester United once again. Of course. This is not IDS top four isn't over yet. Nah, it is. I mean, it's not over, but it's close to being over. Arsenal and Spurs. I mean, for me, Arsenal are actually going to get top four, because if you look at the way Arsenal played, although they lost, look at the way they played, they bossed City. The key is that it's not how they perform against the big teams, it's that they're going to play like that and boss other smaller teams that we are struggling against. I knew a lot of people said, oh, we're not playing Arsenal and Spurs and City and Liverpool until March. It's great. So yeah, we could get in a top four race if we could beat these teams that we're supposed to beat. But you look at it now, you look at Norwich, we just about won, barely. Okay, we beat Burnley, barely, although those two teams are probably going down, maybe. Norwich had a good win today, to be fair. We drew against Newcastle, we lose against Wolves, and we drew against Aston Villa at home. Those are mid-table sides. So Manchester United are performing like a mid-table team. And so if we're acting like a mid-table team, we are probably not going to be getting top four anytime. We're playing Brentford next. Brentford in a bad run of form, but they can come back at us. So yeah, the game, we really should have saw out the game. Being 2-0 up, and still 77 minutes they score their first goal, and 2-0 is always a dangerous result. But more importantly, the game management of the game. I think this is the key because I think Fred is going to get a lot of stick in this game. Even though I think he had a good first half, but he played 90 minutes. It wasn't his fault that he wasn't subbed. And to be honest, we played far better in this game than we did against Villa at the weekend, where Fred didn't. I don't think did Fred play against Villa. I don't think he played against Villa, but we played far better. Had McTominay and Matic. We played a lot better, whatever you say, with Matic and Fred than McTominay and Matic. We did. So it is important to take from this game that we actually played a lot better. We're frustrated because we threw the game away. It's like a different feeling. We won the game on Monday, but we were bad, and we're still frustrated. We were frustrated because we threw the game away, not because we were bad. Because I think Manchester United overall played well, and I think that you've got to shout out to players like elanga, for example, came in, and for me, we need to be careful that we don't overreact to this result, that we go back to the preferred team in the next game. McTominay comes back in, Maguire comes back in, and so on and so forth. That mustn't happen. So that's important. Now, obviously, I'll get to come on 2-point jump really so I'll make great in first half or bring on Donny with 2 minutes to go. That's unforgivable. And I agree. And obviously, I've seen you in your back, so we're going to speak about that. But for me, the main reason why we lost this game was poor game management. I don't want to... The players, and I have a few issues with the fact that, like, Greenwood not tracking back and we're being exposed on the right-hand side with Dalot struggling. It happened to Wan-Bissaka. But for me, most of the reason why we lost this game was poor game management. We didn't make a single sub until it was too late. It was poor. The players were clearly tired. It was poor game management. And this is where I'm like, I get that Rangnick and said with the high press, we were tired. And I get that. That's very important. I get that. Because we don't have the strength or tenacity to be able to do a press for so long. We don't have the fitness. And Ragnar said at the start. So that's fair. However, if we don't have that, it doesn't make sense to keep those players on trying to do that for 90 minutes. That's ridiculous. So that is on Ragnick. You have the Van der Beek and Lingard sub should have been made at probably about 65, maybe I would have said 70 minutes. Bring on Van der Beek on 70 minutes. Bring on Lingard. Lingard will help track back. So take Greenwood off. Lingard will help track back and is obviously can give us something going forward, and Van der Beek likewise. But obviously, because they are linked to leaving the club, they're not going to come on. They don't come on, and I think that's really sad. And I think the reality, unfortunately, is that with this team, is that we're seeing, for me, in my opinion, the fact that this club is managed behind closed doors, not on the football field. Okay, if someone doesn't want to sign a new contract, a new deal, or want to leave, or feels annoyed, they get ushered away. It happened to Romero. It's happening to Van der Beek. This football club is run from behind the scenes, not on the field, and it's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. I don't even know what to say, bro. Amazing performance. Ragball lives. Shout out to MN, who's a Barca fan, who are in the Europa League or maybe in the Europa League as a present. RDS, you clown Coutinho. He came back for revenge. I didn't clown him. I clowned him more so because he won a Champions League against your club. That's why I clowned him, really. So that for me was the biggest insult. Scoring a goal against Barcelona Football Club and winning the CL with them. Shout out to SMB, what's up? This is your new reality. It kind of is. Continue balling out there. Let's see. Let's wait. Colin Mackin says we bottled in the end. Could have lost. We could have lost. We definitely could have lost. Coutinho saying what's up to Barcelona divided. Boychester divided. You love to see it though. MN, at the end of the day, one, we didn't lose the game. And two, this man scored 2 goals and assists against Barcelona in the CL. He won a CL with Bayern Munich against your club. That it is what it is. It is what it is. I do see you guys in the background. I will bring you in a second. You low-key Joe is quickly coming through. Yeah, I mean, what I will say about Steven Gerrard, I will say is because Gerrard looks. I repped him again at Aston Villa. I think he was great at Aston Villa. I really, really do. And then to kind of see. Oh, I'm on Twitter. I'm on Twitter. But to then see what he did what he did it with Rangers. Obviously, I think they went unbeaten and they destroyed Celtic's dominance. You know, was definitely a sight to behold. You know, so definitely. I respect Gerrard. You know, I have an issue with him as a manager, but respect him. Nickman says, not saying David is say, but why does he never get sniffed? He did more in 2 minutes than some pastors did in 90. Absolutely. That's why I said probably more likely or not, it's probably something behind the scenes. Because this is the second manager that's doing it, and we need to be careful that we don't assume that another manager is going to come and do something different. Because I think that's the case. And lastly, S&B says, I feel like this is more on the players than Ralf because they had the lead and gave up. And I agree that the players are responsible. But the thing is that as a manager, you've got to make those subs, though. You've got to make those subs. Game management, I think, cost us this game, in my opinion. So I'm going to just bring Niall in. I saw Tom and Thing in the background. If you guys are watching, come back in. I'm going to start bringing people in. I just had to get that monologue off my chest. Let me switch to that. Oh, buddy.
Hi, mate. How are you?
Well, better days, buddy. Better days. What are your thoughts on this game? How did we borrow this?
I felt the first half, Man United played a lot better for once.
Yep.
And played a high tempo. And the first goal, I thought the first goal was lucky because you see Martinez spilled it and he was trying to grab it, and then it's quickly like goalkeeper gloves. And the second goal was a well taken goal. And thankfully I didn't see the Villa goals. I don't know what Coutinho's goal and Jacob Ramsey's goal was like. What's your thoughts?
What specifically on the goals that we scored or Villa's goals?
Well, both if you want.
So our goals, I think we took our goals well. I think that for me, the first Villa goal, Fred should have done better, and the second match should have done better. But to be honest, and maybe this is a controversial opinion, but both goals, at least from what I could see, came down our right hand side, and Greenwood, and this I saw this a bit with when Wan-Bissaka was playing. Wan-Bissaka and Dallo were always getting doubled up on. And I know people talk about Greenwood's position going forward. For me, a lot of people say, "Oh, his man match is great." I was like, okay, but from what I saw, he still was being a bit selfish, not passing the ball, but that's fine. Driving creativity, I give that. But when you're now 65 minutes plus into a game, you need to come back and track and help and track back. And when Villa were on the attack, there's no point when you're being pressed, when you're on an attack, there's no point in staying up. There's no point as an attacker saying, so if you either have to do one or two things as an attacker, you either help to hold the ball up or you come back inside to try and support your fullbacks. And one of the things I've seen Rashford and Greenwood not doing, which is whatever you say about our defense in the midfield, a lot of these teams come down our flanks because our forwards aren't defending as a team. We're not actually defending as a team. And that's the difference for me when you look at a Chelsea or, other compact teams, is that it's not just right, buy a brilliant centre-back or buy a brilliant DM. Okay, that would be good, but we can solve a lot of our problems if we actually defended together and actually attacked together, if that makes any sense or not. But sorry, that was a lot.
Sorry, what are you saying?
No, yeah. So I was just saying. So go on. So what would you be? What are your Okay, maybe it's keep it stack. And Tom, I'll bring you in after now. If you're listening in the background, is top four over? Because that's what this stream is mostly about. Like, is top four basically over now?
In terms of this game, I think it is in a way because you've got Arsenal and you've got Spurs and. Can't remember who the other team is. They're all challenging in that.
West Ham.
West Ham. for me, that way I missed opportunity tonight. But if you point a gun to my head for top four, I honestly think it's between Arsenal and Spurs, the two London teams, in my opinion, for top four. I think Arsenal will get it. As much as it pains me to say it.
I don't disagree with you, bro. I literally do not disagree with you, bro. I think that the only reason why I think that Arsenal might not get it is if they have several
injuries, mate.
To Xhaka, Saka, and then maybe, and Spurs same way. If they get injuries, then okay, fine. But there's no way that we're getting it unless they get injuries and we can go to, because we still need to go to the Emirates, and Spurs have to come to us and win those games. And even then, you know, it's a bit tetchy. So now just because I'm going to bring Tom in, just final thoughts, like just where does United go from here?
I don't know, because if whoever you've got nicked up, you really need to get a reaction out of whoever it is you've got nicked up, because if not, then I think top four for me is over, in my opinion.
Do you think that's a bad thing, though? Because at the end of the day, like, you know, United should be a football club that should be challenging for Premier League titles, Champions League, etc. And we're now just thinking about top four, getting to top four. You know, should we not, if we're going to be going into a new year, and I said this a while, I was like, maybe it's just better, much like what Arsenal did, to just be like, just get out of the top four race, get out of you. I don't want to play in Europa League. I don't want to play in European football. Just let's stick to one match a week and try and push for the title and build on that, and have a proper push, as opposed to just playing Europa League football. For what? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've got I think at the start of the season, United were I think the ambition was to challenge like for the Champions League, if not the league. But they are where they are because like underachieved, because they're sitting like 7th, 8th in the league. That for me is unacceptable.
No, I agree, bro. Now, thank you so much for coming on, and I also appreciate it. I appreciate it, man. So I'll have you on again as well.
Thank you.
So appreciate it, bro. Take care, man, and see you in a bit, man.
Yes, thank you.
Tom, long time no see, buddy. How you doing?
Yeah, not bad. Yeah. How's yourself?
Well, it's weird. Today started well because Chelsea lost, and and my Lukaku agenda lived. You know, small game Romelu. Then got better because Nigeria, my team have come like one, and it was really positive. I had a really good live watch along, which was great. Good views, good banter. It was good. And then United, and you think it's going to end well because United are going to win 2-0 up, but United, they don't disappoint. They cost it for me, man. What are your thoughts on the game, buddy?
I mean, I always hear this word control with games. When you're 2-0 up, you expect to control the game. I'm sorry. You know, you're 2-0 up with what? I think you were like, what? 13 minutes till the full 90?
13 minutes, yeah.
13 minutes. If you had the 4 minutes that they added on in the end, what? You can't hold on for around 20 minutes with two goals. Like, and we talk about all this about control and stuff. Let's get one thing straight. You can never control a game without a midfield that works. You can never control any football match. It doesn't matter what level you are. If you don't have midfielders that can pass the ball 5 yards, you will not control any game at all. It doesn't matter what level you play at. The likes of Fred, the likes of Matic, who is at the end of his career. The old school Matic would have been a lot better. Could at least pass 5 yards. And even when we're playing, you know, these sort of plays...
But Tom, why were they playing? And this is the key thing. I don't understand. Why were they playing for 90 minutes, though? Why did we not make, when we have a Van der Beek on the field, and even a Lingard potentially, like when we have, you know, a Matic even come into a midfield, but certainly Van der Beek, why did you bring on Van der Beek and Lingard on an 88 minutes when you could clearly see that either Matic or Fred were tired and shouldn't play United. Why weren't those subs made earlier?
I just think they're frustrated, these players, because they've had it now with, they had it with 3 years under Ole. Van der Beek's been at the club nearly 2 years now, and I think there was a start, and he's only played something like 200 minutes or something. It's scandalous. It's absolutely scandalous. And how the hierarchy, how coaches, managers have got away with this for 2 years. It's honestly, I've never seen a player be so demoralised in my life. The liking of, say, with such as Rashford. I went on Abdullah's stream last night when we were talking just about Man United with the Ronaldo interview and everything, and he got on about Rashford and that. The kid needs an holiday. He needs 2 weeks away, but mentally, physically, psychologically drained and completely washed up and done, injured, to hell. And that was because of Ole overplaying players. Like you've just said there with Fred and Matic. Matic is at the end of his career. Fred is well, he's Fred, innit? Mr. Can't pass the ball 5 years, 5 yards or anything. When you're trying to play balls 40 yards and they're not coming off, you can't expect to do that when you can't even pass the ball 5 yards. And this is the thing.
What I would say in defense of this team is that whatever you say about us, and this is why I don't want to be too overreactionary, is that we played far better in this game than we did against Villa at the week. And we played a strong team against Villa in the week, and we were awful. Villa, we won the game, but quite frankly, we deserved to lose that game. Villa were all over us from start to finish in the midweek. This, I was like, we're more annoyed because we threw the game away than Villa. Then we were dominated by Villa at Villa Park.
Listen, G. It's not even that we threw this game away. We threw the season away. We've completely thrown the season. When you appoint an interim manager, it doesn't matter if it's the world elite. If you got Zidane in for 6 months, or you got Steve Bruce in for 6 months, God forbid. You were writing the season off by getting an interim coach. It doesn't matter who it is. Even with this, where we're going to move Rangnick upstairs, it's not going to make any difference. No difference at all. He'll go in his little consultancy role. He'll have his little office at Carrington, drink some coffee for 2 years, and that'll be it. He won't make any decisions because he won't get the power to. He won't have any ability over the recruitment policy. He won't have any influence in board meetings or board decisions. He will be scapegoated, and it wouldn't surprise me if he doesn't stay in for the full 2-year consultancy role at the end of the season. But gee, this is the thing where we talk about this football club. I've already said we've written the season off. Forget top 4. Forget top 6. Forget top 6. West Ham, Spurs, Arsenal. That there's even the liking of Wolves and stuff are creeping up the table. There's Brighton there who play brilliant football. These teams will suddenly catch up the points, and it'll catch us up, and it'll bite us in the arse. But like you've already said, we need a season out of Europe completely. Reset, go down a different model. But this is the thing where we go down these, projects and things like that. Nobody wants to buy into projects anymore because we've had it for God knows how long with so many different managers. But the one thing that we need to do, we need to get to the end of the season. I want to see, first day at the end of the season or by the end of the season, an announcement who the manager actually is. But by the end of the last game, I want to know who the manager is. If we had any brain cells, if Rangnick is only here for 5 or 6 months for this until the end of the season, why can't we go and appoint somebody or announce somebody? Right, so and so will take over at the end of the season. Whether it's Poch, Ten Hag, Mancini, whoever it is, go and make an announcement and say this person will take over in the summer, like Man City did with Guardiola, and then they gave Pellegrini his marching boots. Bye Pellegrini. And then Pep came in the summer. But we're not run like that. And this is the thing where we have these sort of results now. This team is the Ole team. Regardless of what anybody says, this is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's team. He built this for 3 years. It's not Ralf Rangnick's team. And he's coming to a ball pit of fire where you've got 5 or 6 players who are probably going to be leaving in the summer or are thinking about leaving. I don't need to name names. Everybody knows who they are. Martial, Pogba, Van der Beek. Everybody knows the names. Who are on about leaving. Listen, if you don't want to be here, by all means go. I could not care less. If you're on 500 grand a week or you're on 5k a week, if you don't want to be here, you don't want to be here.
Yeah.
Pep does it many a time. Ferran Torres wanted to go back to Spain. You can't argue with a kid's wishes. If he wants to go back to Spain, send him back to Spain, and he's gone straight away. Gone. We can't even find a buyer for Martial right now. This is how bad it is. We put Sevilla off because we want a £10 million loan fee. Nobody's going to pay £10 million for a player that doesn't play.
On top of the wages that Martial
wages, exactly. This is the thing. Same thing with Pogba. It doesn't play. Yeah. Even if he does play, he's not going to control the midfield for us.
Yeah.
So if we want any glimmer, and it is a glimmer, it's not luck or it's not a chance, it's a glimmer of hope. Sign a midfielder. We have to make signings. Go into the market. Regardless of if Rangnick's here for 4 months, he's smart enough to know and he's intelligent enough to know when he takes on the consultancy role, whoever the club's manager is, whether it's Poch, Ten Hag, the ideal player that suits him, but the player can adapt into another system when the new manager comes in the summer. He will identify the pinpoint player. He's done it many a time. The pinpoint player who can come into the football club and do that in the midfield. I don't need to name names. He will go to Germany and he'll get Germany's best young midfielder. Whether that's Haidara, whether that's Zakaria, whether that's Bellingham, he will go and get one of those players, or he'll put forward one of those players and say that's the player that we need. And the new manager in the summer, regardless of who it is, can use that player because he can adapt into different systems. But until we get this mentality, because we've got to restructure. Forget about building around one player. I'm sick of this building around one player. Let's build a team, not around one player.
Not even build a team. Build a squad.
Thank you, but that's even better than what.
The thing about Manchester City that people don't seem to get is that, like, it doesn't surprise me that Manchester City, like, people to say that, oh, why is it's simple because the one thing that we can't control is the issue with COVID. And players getting cancelled, and people and players not being available, and injuries and what have you. You can't control that. But the reality is that when you have a big squad, a good squad of high quality players, even if those players are out, you have players that can come in that can basically make a difference. And the issue with a lot of other teams in the league, and especially United, is that 1 or 2 players go out and then suddenly you're like, we're screwed. That also trickles down to the academy as well. Personally, one of the positives to me, for example, today was seeing Elanga. Elanga did today. I said in the end of the Villa game in midweek, I was like, Elanga did more in that game in 5 minutes coming on than Rashford has done in the last how many months. And not because I hate Rashford, but
it's not his fault.
It's not his fault. But this is the thing about having a squad, and my issue, like you said, with Ollie, which was that, listen, if a player is on bad form, like shout out to Ragnick today, for example, for dropping Maguire. Maguire's been bad, so you drop him. If a player has had chances after chance after chance, not playing good, you drop that player and bring an alternative coming into that squad. Van de Beek should have the opportunity by whoever it is that should be that has the potential to potentially do something, or whether it's even youngsters like Elanga and Ahmad. To be honest, I think Ahmad and Elanga should definitely be given more opportunities than they have been, given what we've seen. But the reality is that this, I don't know, again, whether it's in the contract. The part of me thinks that maybe it's in the contract that certain players have to play a certain amount of games. They have to play in a certain, like, if you remember Sanchez, for example, I remember times like, why is Alexis Sanchez always playing? He's bad. He's not doing anything. Mourinho doesn't seem to fancy him. Why is he always playing? And I'm like, maybe there's something where there must be something in the, and why is he playing on the left wing? Because when he played there, if you remember, in Mourinho, we were alternating between Rashford and Martial and was doing wonders for it. And then we signed Sanchez, who we thought was going to play on the right, and it was like, no, he's got to play on the left, which disrupted the Martial-Rashford dynamic. And we're like, but why does he having to play there all the time? And it was because, I think anyway, there must be something in this contract. So some of these players, it just seems like, you know what, there's got to be something there, but it is what it is. But
let me ask you a question, Jay. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah, of course.
Do you honestly think that Rangnick is convinced by this squad or these players at all?
No. No. I think I can see that. I can see what he could do with a Fred, with a Dallo, for example, with an
You can
Elanga,
see it, yeah, you can
know,
see it, but
I
there's
can
not
see.
enough time. There's not enough time
Yes,
to implement it.
yeah,
This is the
yeah,
problem.
yeah. He would need a like I always said that he needs a full proper preseason, like any manager does, to assess his squad. I think when Ragnick was appointed, I did say, listen, he said, it's like, listen, it's difficult for me to implement that style of play, like gegenpress, that push, when the players' fitness levels isn't there. Players will get injured, and we saw that when Klopp came in for Liverpool initially. So United need to make a decision as to whether they say, right, listen, he goes behind the scenes, but we give him control to be able to bring the best talent in from Germany and from the continent as possible, because I think that's important. Because quite frankly, I'm a bit tired of English FC. I'm a bit tired of spending, you've got Zakaria. I'm not saying Zakaria is the answer, but he's 6 million. The English equivalent would be 6 million. I'm tired of bringing in overpaid English players to do a job when you can get a cheaper alternative for less. You know what I mean? Canate was Liverpool spent what, 30 million on Canate?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean,
Well, there's Frank Kessie.
Frank Kessie, let's not. Let's not. I mean, I'm watching AFCON, and Ndidi. I know it would be possible to get Ndidi, but Ndidi has been phenomenal for Nigeria.
Yeah.
And you're just thinking, as much as I think Pogba should go, I've always thought, what happens if Ndidi played alongside Pogba, and then your Bruno, Van Beek, or whatever it is. You had a midfield of Ndidi, Pogba, and Van der Beek, or maybe even Bruno there. How different that dynamic would be. But it doesn't seem to be on the radar for Manchester United.
No.
I don't know. Let me just go on.
Yeah. No, go on.
Yeah, just go through some comments just quickly. Let's have a quick look. I'll go back. I missed quite a few. Sorry. United downfall is so sad, says Sudan. For all the talk, you guys finish top 4 with Garnado. Same to you, boss. You guys better finish top 4 as well. We have to remember concept. You're going from 0 to 100 when you go from Oli to Ralph. Exactly. Everything is in and the players haven't gone. Exactly. This is why I think people need to chill about it, because at the end of the day, Ralph has stabilized the ship somewhat, and I still want this philosophy. I don't think that we can do a Pep and have this possessive, tacky sort of thing. I don't think we'd have to have a completely different. And there are not enough managers that can do that well.
I think I think Ten Hag could do it, but he needs to bring in 5 or 6 different players.
Exactly. So
he needs half a new squad. Minimum.
And realistically, we can't do that. Whereas
not in one window.
Not in one window. And in the Gegenpress system, I can at least see certain players in our squad that with a good preseason could adapt to that quickly, like Greenwood, Fred, plus potentially Rashford if he picks up his injury. There's certain players that I think could adapt to that, and if we just bring in a 2 or 3, we could still be a force. Let's have a quick look. Oh yes, Salah goal. Oh, Egypt ahead, are they? I think someone told me that Guinea equalized, but looks like the goal was ruled out. So fair enough. Eddie, so dropping a shout and subscribe to his channel, guys. Subscribe to his channel. United's in existential trouble. It's peak. Sudan still has a chance. Yeah, they still have a chance if they beat. If Sudan beat Egypt, then they will go second. If the scoreline stays the same with Egypt beating Guinea. So yeah, that's so yeah. Sudan do need to. Rangnick's a trust coach. I wouldn't say that. Average Joe shouts Average Joe. So trash. Kevin Hoyes says rubbish players all at sea. MT says the difference is Arsenal don't spend as much as you. Arsenal had the highest transfer budget this transfer window. It's a myth that Arsenal don't spend money. I keep on telling people this. They've
got better recruitment though. They've got a lot better at recruiting players. So
yeah,
I will admit that.
The difference, I think, is that Arsenal alone have, as you said, have been better at recruitment recently. The only thing I would say about Arsenal is that I still think that they are relying on maybe 2 or 3 key players. You know, like if you get rid of Saka, possibly Partey, not even Partey, I'd say Saka. Saka's their main guy, to be honest. If you take one of the midfielders out in a Partey, for example,
and Smith Rowe,
you know, Smith Rowe, I think they do struggle. And Ramsdale as well. You know, Ramsdale has been a revolution for those guys. He's been very good this season. Shout out to W United, please. It's Maisie. Thank you for tuning in, Maisie. Head over and subscribe to Maisie's W United's channel. Get her to 1K subscribers ASAP. Head over. She has a lot of good content. She's also a co-host on Red Devil Studio, and we'll be doing a top 10 United show on Monday, and then Maisie will be leading be hosting the United previews going forward on this channel. So respect. Absolutely disgusting second half, conceding them 2 goals. Yeah, we shouldn't have. And I still blame the manager for not managing the game better, to be honest. Most need to get their finger out as Colin. I don't disagree with that. All jokes aside, you can still get to for the gaps. And to be fair, and let me bring the table up because I think that's important. I think it's where is it? I'll just quickly go Premier League table. I mean, it's unlikely, but let's get it. I need to zoom out of this. Okay. Right. Okay. You can't clearly see United, which is
good, of course. We can't see us.
So United are 7th. They'll stay there, presumably. Although Leicester have 2 games in hand, which they'd have to win.
We've still got a game in hand as well.
We've still got a game in hand as well. Which would put us to 35.
Spurs are 3.
Spurs are 3 games in hand. I mean, what I will say as a side comment, this whole game in hand measuring it really has disrupted the league. And at the end of the day, where you're going to play these games, you know, you're going to have Spurs potentially playing 3 games in a week, and they're not going to be able to win all 3 of those games. You know, it's not going to be possible. You know, so the disruption hasn't helped. I think it looks like City and Chelsea, I think, are the only teams who've actually played all of their games. I think, you know, but yeah, because so technically we actually have 2 games in hand if we're talking about match days and stuff. So looking at you've got West Ham, you've got 37 points. They'll be playing tomorrow, win 4th. Arsenal. I think the Spurs got suspended. So
yeah, it did. Yeah,
Spurs have I think have got 4 games to play basically. But if we're just looking at West Ham so far, we're 5 points from West Ham, and I think we have to play West Ham again, don't we?
Yeah, we do at Old Trafford, and that's in that. I think that's the. I might be wrong. It might be the last game before the international break. I think.
I mean, at the end of the day, yes, United could in theory still get top 4 if they do beat Spurs, Arsenal, West Ham. Yes, in theory we can if we win those games and our games in hand. But the likelihood is that likely going to happen? And when you look at the fixtures, we've got Brentford obviously away, which can be hit or miss. They're good. They're looking for points. We then do face West Ham at home. So that's going to be a big game for top 4. If we win the next 2 games, we might be having a different conversation. I'm not sure, though. Middlesbrough in the FA Cup should probably be fine, you hope. Burnley away, which, to be honest, is probably the only game I'm somewhat confident about, especially because I think Newcastle poached Chris Wood from them, so I don't think they really have a striker. Southampton away is always tough. Leeds is probably going to be fine. And then we now have the Champions League against Atletico Madrid, which I'm dreading. So these next 5 games, we need to win them all. But realistically, if you're telling me the games that I think we're more likely to win, we'll probably beat Burnley and we'll probably beat Leeds just because of how Leeds play. The others, Southampton, West Ham, Brentford, tetchy. Very, very, very tetchy. West Ham, possibly, because I can't remember last time West Ham beat us, to be honest. But these 2 could definitely be bogeys. I mean, I don't know. What are your thoughts on that, Tom?
I see a lot of draws, to be honest. I don't see teams like Brentford probably beating us, but you know that we've all seen the atmosphere in that stadium when they get a goal or a couple of decisions, or there's a bit of fire in the game like there was tonight with Aston Villa, and the crowd gets behind these sort of teams, and our players are that weak mentally that they just can't handle it or they can't hack it. There's that many problems, like we say, with the mentality and the psychological parts of this squad. I mean, where's this football, sports psychologist that we've appointed? I mean, I think half our players are broken, completely and utterly broken or drained psychologically. I mean, what do we employ these people for if they're not going to physically do the job? Because you don't hear anything like, "Oh, Rashford's getting a 2-week layoff," when clearly the kid needs it. Get away from football. Honestly, if I was any sort of a man, let's put a manager or in Rangnick or whatever, or a director aside at Man United. If you're a man and you can see this kid's had 2 years of absolute agony with injuries, physically, psychologically, and mentally drained, he can't even run 5 yards without pulling up or something being wrong, or doesn't have, even the minimum, have a smile on his face. The kid doesn't want to smile anymore. We've took the smile away from him, and most of our players are not happy. They don't have, they don't go out there with a smile on their face or look like they're actually interested in the game. And when you have a player like what Rashford's been through and everything that he's tried to do for the community and everything, and then all you get is, he should focus on the football, yada, yada, yada. Listen, book the kid a one-way ticket to Dubai, wherever, and have a warm weather training session in tents for 2 weeks, and let the kid have a relaxation and actually get some goodness out of it.
I think he and a lot of the players need to have the humility on themselves to notify to say that as well, because Marcus Rashford did not need to go to the European Championship. Rashford could have declined to go to the Euros.
Oh no, Ollie pushed him. That's why, G. Ollie said that he should go.
Is that what Ollie said? Maybe.
Yeah, Ollie said that he should go because Ollie wanted to focus on the youth team while the Euros were on. That was what he said anyway.
That's dumb. So he shouldn't have gone. He shouldn't have gone to the European. What should have happened is that Marcus Rashford should not have gone to the Euros. He should have got his surgery over the European, to recover then from the surgery, and then maybe use the first couple of games of the season to get into match fitness. What happened was that he did surgery at the beginning of the season, and now he's trying to play himself into form, which was not the right thing. But fundamentally, to be honest, like, the thing is that at the end of the day, there is no manager that's going to come in that's going to create a positive, happy environment for United. Like, people are talking about Conte. Conte is not going to create a nice, family-friendly environment at Manchester United.
No.
It's Mancini. So we also have to think about the perspective, like, if we're talking about we want to make the players happy, the reality is that there's very few managers that are available that are going to will bring that. Maybe Pochettino and Ten Hag, but we've seen what happened with Pochettino at Spurs when that happened. And Ten Hag, we need to be careful because I love what he's doing at Ajax. I love what he's doing in the Champions League. But the last couple of managers that managed at Ajax and did well flopped hard in the Premier League. Van Gaal, brilliant with Ajax, flopped with United, although we've also got to pick up. And what's his name? The last manager,
De Boer.
De Boer, massive flop at Palace. Meanwhile, Vieira is probably playing the best football that Palace have had in quite some time. So we need to be careful that I want Rangnick. I want the best manager to come in. I really, really do. But at the same time, I think we need to be careful that we're not just like any manager, like what happened with Ollie. Oh, any manager will do. Any manager will be better. It'll be okay. Sort of, any manager will come in because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is inexperienced, and any manager is going to come in and make this team, awesome. That was the problem here.
But we should be looking at people now. We should have. and this is the thing. Robbie Savage made a point, and I think he's a director at Macclesfield, and he made the point whenever a manager gets sacked or there's an unforeseen circumstance, they leave for another job, or there's I don't know, mutual consent, whatever it is. There is an emergency 5 shortlist at Macclesfield Town. 5 managers that they would go and approach straight away if anything happened to their first coach, they sacked them or whatever. 5. And Man United went down the route of let's hire an interim till the end of the season. Let's write this season off. Let's hire an interim. And do you know why we've hired an interim, Jay? Because we haven't got hardball negotiators that will fly to Paris and negotiate a deal for Poch, or we haven't got hard negotiators that'll go to Ajax, that'll go to Amsterdam and sit down and say, Van der Sar, name your price. We haven't got people who will go to the Italian board or whatever and question about Mancini, or go to Spain and question about Enrique, or set up a meeting to go and see Zidane. We haven't got these people that will go and do that. There's no accountability. There's no. There's no balls about it. Nothing.
And I think it's gotten around already. To be honest, that a lot of people already know how mismanaged Manchester United is behind the scenes.
Absolutely.
Yes, there are managers that will want to take the job, but they'll take the job only really with assurances. Let me quickly get some more comments, and we'll round up here because I'm tired right now. Again, like the vid, subscribe, guys. By the way, and shout out to those guys who joined the AFCON stream before, because that was probably the highlight of the day, to be honest. Just a fantasy. They'll probably win 2/3, but it's Spurs. I mean, that is a thing, though. To be fair, Spurs do what Spurs do. So I wouldn't be surprised if Spurs do bottle it, because that is kind of in their nature. Even Klopp, Pep will not save United. Wake up! We need new owners like the Saudis. Colin, a lot of co-workers United. The house needs exercised. And now, hello, mate, Maisie. Oh, just missed me. It's Maisie. Sorry. Oh yeah, that ended. That the Egypt suit ended 1-0. I think the goal was disallowed. So shout out to Egypt. But so that gives Sudan a chance. We need a tank in midfield, maybe an unknown. And that's when our scouting.
Anyway, G, I've got to head off anyway. But
yes, take care.
Thanks for having me anyway.
On the show.
Take
really
care
appreciate
anyway.
it. Take care, man.
Yeah.
See you later, buddy. Yeah, we're going to be rounding off in a second, guys. So let me just quickly go through the comment. I'm going to be done. Where is the scouting system like the days of old? I don't know what our scouting system is right now, to be honest. I really don't. Jack Banger, who's watching on YouTube, says we need midfielders who can hold the ball and control the tempo in any situation. Yeah, I mean, one of the things I've said has been issue United is that we don't look comfortable on the ball. We don't look comfortable on the ball at all. So the only thing with this team is, okay, maybe you can press, but we don't look comfortable on the ball at all, and we need that. It's funny because Nigeria versus if you want to see how ragball is, watch Nigeria versus Sudan when they played 4-2-2-2, and for periods of the game they pressed, won the ball back. That's how 4-2-2 should be played. If you want to see what that looks like, watch Nigeria versus Sudan, man. All Premier League teams have better mids than. Yep, I don't disagree with that, bro. N'Golo Kante, can we get him? Probably not. I would very be surprised if Chelsea to sign him, and Didi likewise. We just can't get those types of players anymore. So we need to look on the continent. Time is a clean slate. This is a clean slate. Patience it's sad, but we'll have to go through this season. Then regroup in preseason. It's like when Ferguson took the helm in '86. Many players had to go, and this is the case here. At the end of the day, this summer is going to be a massive clear out. Mata is probably gone. I don't know. This summer's going to be big, and I hate talking about the summer, but it's going to be big because, we talk about Ole doing a real build, but the reality is that Pogba's gone in the summer, Lingard's gone in the summer, Mata's probably gone in the summer. Matic goes into I think he's got one more year going to find it, but I think he should be sold. We've got to make decisions about young players. It's peak. You know, we've got a lot of decisions to make. Cavani is obviously gone as well. Sorry, Ronaldo might be gone because let's be real. Does Ronaldo really want to play in the Europa League? You know, the only reason I would see Ronaldo staying is if Ronaldo is gonna be getting a role, a more senior role at the club. Like Ronaldo's thinking more of long term. Like I want to get a senior role at the club. Otherwise, I don't see him staying. You know, I don't see he wants to play in the biggest football, and I don't see him staying. I'll bet Ronaldo and Messi are the last legs. Yep. Look when Brentford are probably going to beat us. Shout out to Rich Sports. Go to his channel, guys, and subscribe to Rich Sports channel, man. Go to his channel, support him. You know, you're looking at this table, guys, and you know, 2 points from this. You know, we get 34 points, and we're only 3 points behind West Ham. You know, we win this game, we get 34 points, and we're only 3 points behind West Ham with a game in hand. And then you're thinking, you know, maybe we can do something. We're only a point behind Arsenal, for example. You know, Spurs, it's a bit difficult, you know, but these are the things. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what Spurs are an enigma here. But it is what it is. Any final comments, guys? Let's have a look. There's people talking in the chat, really. Memty says we need liquidation. Probably, to be honest. Guys, thank you for tuning in. Remember, if you use the channel to like, share, and subscribe. You know, to Red Devil Studio. Follow us on Twitch, United X. Smash the notification button. I will be doing a lot more live streams on this show. I will be doing a lot more. I think Jay Jackson says I might self-harm. I'll be doing a lot more live streams on this channel, but more so with. I personally prefer live watch-alongs than these post-match reactions. And you're probably going to be seeing a lot more non-Manchester United fan comments because I can't do this anymore, guys. I'll be honest. Doing United previews, reactions, things, it's tough. It really, really is. I'm probably going to be doing a lot more. Shout out to you, MT man. Shout out to you, man. I have stay tuned for the Have Hope up because I have certain receipts that I must play for Lukaku. Then is Magpie or Red Devil Studios? It's going to be RDS. RDS is going to turn up. RDS is going to turn up, man. RDS is going to turn up. But yeah, guys. You know, I love United, but I think it's getting to the point where I think I'm going to be probably cutting down on my United content on this channel going forward and doing a lot more non-United stuff. I'll probably be leaving a lot more of it to Maisie, who'll be doing some of the previews, and I might probably go back to uploading like match reactions. I might do the occasional live post-match reaction. We'll keep the top 10 United weekly show for a bit. But yeah, I'm going to be doing a lot more non-United stuff, covering Liga, Serie A, etc. Because, you know, first and foremost, I'm a football fan, and there's just better football being played elsewhere that is much more enjoyable. I'll just keep it a stack. We understand, brother. Yeah, man. You get tired, bro, after a while. You really, really do. Everyone says we better not see Magpies. Magpies is chilling, man. Magpies is chilling, but it's gonna be RDS, man. CR7 is retiring at the end of the season. This is my prediction. No top 4, no World Cup for your boy. Maybe. But I don't think so. I think he goes to MLS before he retires to expand his brand. Anyway, guys, take care, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. And cheers.